Hello and welcome to another episode of Ken Training, where we want to train you to tackle projects like this one on your own. Today's project is going to be replacing the seal on my Champion toilet. This is the product that we have right here. Now, this particular one is the Corky, and they say it lasts 2 times longer. And the reason why this one is better than like the Fluid Master one that you can purchase. I purchased this one at Amazon. I'll leave you a link down below. But this one is supposed to be a superior seal compared to the Fluid Master, which is, I think it's either blue or black. But that particular seal, it doesn't fight the chlorine as well. This Corky seal fights the chlorine better, and for the same price it'll last 2 times as long. So as long as you're going to do this project, you might as well use the best seal that there is. This should be a fairly quick project. Alright, this here's my toilet, and this here is the American Standard. This is the one that they say that can flush 12 golf balls. And there's a reason why that this toilet is superior compared to other toilets, and I'm going to show you that when I open up and we look down the tank, and I'm going to show you right now. Before I get to that, I want to explain why we are doing this project. The reason why is because the existing one is, I think it's 14 years old. And what's happening is we can hear the toilet fill valve opening up just a little bit without flushing the toilet because the water is leaking through this seal. So we're going to replace this seal, and the toilet will use less water because it won't be leaking water when it is not in use, when you don't operate the handle. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the fill valve on the water valve here. So on mine it's a 90-degree turn. You just turn that to the right 90 degrees and that locks in place. Now that we've done that, we're going to operate the handle, and this is a 4-inch cylinder valve rather than the 3-inch flapper valve on most toilets. This is what makes the Champion superior. Now watch this when you flush this. Bam! It's a huge 4-inch opening, and that really gives a powerful flush down the toilet. I'll show you that again after we fix the seal. But that's why the Champion toilet is such a really good design and a unique design. If you don't know what type of toilet you have, snap a picture of this information right here and put that in your favorite AI program. I use Perplexity, and then it will tell you what the toilet is. We know the manufacturer in this case is an American Standard. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the chain, which in my case is on the third notch coming this way. I'm going to remove that from the handle. Alright, so now that the handle has been removed and I removed this portion right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold underneath while I turn this butterfly wing nut counterclockwise. It's a little stiff. There we go. And okay. Okay, now we've got that, and I've removed the stopper from there. I'm just going to set that aside, and I'll go ahead and put this back down. That's not going to do anything. This is the seal that we are replacing. We're going to replace this blue one. Now it looks like it's identical on both sides here, so I'm just going to set this blue one aside for a second, and I'm going to go get the new seal. All right, before I open the package for the new seal, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my paper towel, I'm going to wet it, and I'm going to clean this surface off here where the seal is going to touch. I'm also going to clean off this surface right here where the seal touches with the same paper towel, just to make sure there's no debris or anything that will prevent a really good seal there. So I'm just going to put that and make it nice and clean. Now that that's completed, just wring out the excess water. Now we'll go ahead and open up our package. Okay. There's an O-ring in here. You don't want to miss that O-ring. So make sure you don't lose it when you open the package. So just be careful. Okay. Now that I've got the seal, it does not matter on which side goes where. So you can put it on this way, or you can flip it 180 degrees this way, and it will not matter which way that it goes. So now that the new seal, and there's a tab here, it doesn't matter where this tab is located around here. There's a tab right here on the red, but don't worry about that. That's irrelevant. Now that we've got that done, and we're getting ready to put this together, before we do that, there's an O-ring that's on right here on the existing wing nut. So we're going to remove that red O-ring, and then we're going to put the black one on. Let's see if I can do it with my fingers. Looks like I can without even using a tool. Yeah, I think I got it. Okay, so there's the red one off. Set that aside. The new one comes black. I'm just going to dip it in water so it's a little lubricated. And now I'm going to push that, and it goes over a certain section here, right over, there's a lip here that it's going to go over. And let me get it fully seated. There it is, fully seated on the wing nut. Okay, so now that that's ready to go, and I'm going to lift up my cup, and there's 4 grooves here that are in this portion, that when I put this down, I'm going to turn this to engage this here into the slotted mechanisms on the bottom cup right here. So I'm going to put that down, put the top on, and then I'm just going to turn it till it engages. There, that's engaged. Now that I've got that all set and it's all sandwiched together, I'm going to take this, put my wing nut on, and I'm going to start to screw it on. Okay, now you have to listen for your snaps. Here, I'm getting close to locking it in. Hold on. Actually, there was no snaps. It seemed to be just fine. Yeah, I was expecting to have a little bit more. Oh, there. Okay. So we snapped it in. I think it can go one more. No, I think that's it. That's it. That feels good. I don't want to go any more. Okay, so now that we've got that, I can put my handle back together again. Now, if you remember, I told you this was on the 3rd notch. So I'm going to take my chain, connect it to my handle on the 3rd notch, put that on. Mine's a little stiff. I'm going to have to push with my fingers here. There we go. So that's connected there. Now that I've got that on my handle, by the way, this is the best handle in the world. I'll give you links to the handle and to the seal and to the flush valve, all in the description down below. All right, now I want this, on my handle you have a choice of where this goes, but you want this position so it's directly over the shaft sticking up. So I'm just going to move my spline here so that it is right as close to there, right there. See that action? Perfect. On my handle, it has a locking pin here. So I'm going to put the locking pin in right here. Hold on. Hold on, right here. There we go. That's all locked in. And just operate that without the water. Make sure that everything looks good. And that looks 100%. Now we're going to open the fill valve, and then you're going to see it start to fill. Okay, now the tank is filling. So let's let it fill up, and it will come up until the float is satisfied like that, and that will shut the water off. Okay, mine is filling up a little bit too close to the overflow. Let me show you that. All right, do you see how close the water level is? It's just getting ready to go over this tube. If I put my hand in the tank, you'll see that it's going over the overflow tube. That's too much. So we need to turn this to take the float here and drive the float down so it's not as so high of a water level. I'm going to go counterclockwise a few turns. Let me try it one more time. See if I got it just where I want it. I want it to be about a ½ inch below here. That's pretty good. You can see that level right there. As long as it's below and it's not going over that overflow tube, that's what I want. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and test our toilet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flush it, and I'm going to put the camera like this so you can see all the action at the same time. There you go. Now we'll just let it fill up, but basically that's how you replace the seal right there. Okay, so the parts that we replaced is going to be the O-ring and then the seal. This was the corgi. On the back there are instructions in case you want to read the instructions. There's a QR code, and I think that they'll have a video on here if you want to watch a video on how to replace the seal. But basically, well, there's two different styles on the American Standard Champion toilet. Mine had the wing nut. There's a style that doesn't have the wing nut, and if you watch the video, it'll teach you how to replace the seal with that other style without the wing nut. I hope you got some valuable information out of this video. If you have not done so already, smash that like button down. Subscribe to my channel, Ken Training. I will catch you on the flip side.